she is tiny. How many do you have life out of her? How many? 3. Like
A 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 5-year-old. So it's about time for the more.
Does she agree with that? He said she was. Apparently.
She was 7. I told her no.
Lord.
I'm like 7 or 2.
I had an uncle that had one.
My sister has 9. I have another sister who's 8.
So 7's low.
7 would be the
If you will, let's call this meeting to order. This is a regular meeting of the Williston City Council. It is Tuesday, January the 4th at 6 p.m. And at this time, I will ask the city clerk to call the roll, please.
Mayor Robinson.
Here.
Council President Jones,
Here.
Vice President Robinson,
Here.
Councilmember Cox,
Here.
Councilmember Hines, Councilmember Ross,
Here.
City Manager Jackie Gorman, City Attorney Scott Walker, absent, City Clerk Latricia Wright here. Online, we have Attorney Kirsten Ballou and all other staff.
Here.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Happy New Year, and we're glad you're with us. It's a great way to start with community participation. If you will stand at this time, we will do the opening prayer and the pledge of allegiance of the mayor.
Dear God, thank you that you make all things new. Thank you for all that you've allowed into our lives this past year, the good along with the hard things, which have reminded us of how much we need you and rely on your presence filling us every single day. We pray for your Spirit to lead us each step of this new year. We ask that you lead and guide us in our decisions and keep us safe throughout this new year with your help. Protect our police, fire, and all our first responders throughout this new year. Protect and provide for our military wherever they may be and bring them home safely. In this new year, Lord, we ask that you be with our national, state, county, and city leaders, and that they will look to you for guidance and do what is best for our country, our state, our county, and our city. In Jesus' name, we humbly ask these things. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Saying how wonderful it was to hear the little voices from the audience say that with us, and it is true. At this time, our item number 1 is additions, deletions, changes, or approval of the agenda. Ms. Latricia.
I'd like to have a deletion that needs to be corrected. On item 6F, it's a duplicate of item 5C. So we could just remove item 6F from the agenda.
Okay. Yeah. There's also, I would like to say in item 6A, the name is really Eagle Vista. Right? Eagle Vista. Eagle, as in, gotcha.
Eagle and then S on Vista.
Eagle Vista. Got it. All right. Thank you so much. I'll ask for approval of the agenda with those corrections.
I move that we approve the agenda as corrected.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion from anyone? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. At this time, item number 2 is the mayor's student of the month. And we're thrilled that y'all are back. We missed all my kids.
With everything that's gone on in the last 2 years, I've really missed doing this because it's been not only a pleasure for me, but also for the city council to see the kids come up. And And I hope, even with the spike that we had here recently, I really hope that we don't have to do anything as far as I'm concerned until somebody tells me, no, we will continue this until the end of the school year. So, with that, first off, is Kara Andrews in the house?
Right here.
Come on down. Happy New Year. How you doing? Good, good. Okay, Kara was nominated by Kristen Larson. Is that your teacher?
Yeah.
Is it? What do they teach?
She's my lesson teacher.
Uh,
Sorry.
uh,
I know this kid on his budget.
That's okay. That's all right. Kara, and she had this to say about Kara, is a 16-year-old senior and recent graduate of Williston Middle School. And Kara is a very motivated student and natural leader. She started a recycle club here at WMHS. She is HOSA president. Now, what does that stand for?
Health Occupational Science and Students of America. So people going into the field of like medicine.
Oh, you're the president.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
It's just a school chapter.
Oh, well, that's something. And did an excellent job motivating students and coming up with fundraising ideas. Well, we could use you here at the city. And she would definitely reach her career and life goals, which are?
I would like to be a prosecutor at Fort Leavenworth.
Say that again.
I'd like to be a prosecutor at Fort Leavenworth.
A prosecutor at Fort Leavenworth. Okay. Well, good luck, good luck.
Very smart.
And where you plan on going to college?
I've applied to UNC Charlotte, UNC Wilmington,
And then law school? Where?
I'm not really sure yet.
Not yet sure yet?
My grades look nice, but the check for that is not.
Okay, all right, well, we wish you well. Okay, Kara has taken over teaching ninth grade AVID. Okay, what's AVID?
Advanced individual determination. At the end of the first 9 weeks, our teacher was overwhelmed, and so she quit. And I was the teaching aide in the classroom, and so it was a decision between Mr. Slunt, the school board, and then Ms. Taylor, Tommy Taylor, who is the district director. They would allow me to take on the role of the education supervisor of the classroom, so I was basically the teacher. You know, 21-year-old.
How old are you? And you go to Williston, right?
I just graduated. So there's a running for my life there, there's 6-year-old Brett with more than 30 credits.
When you gonna run for president?
I think in 2052 is the election that I'm looking at.
Wow, okay, cool. And she said that she went on to say that she has been doing an excellent job juggling teaching and being a student. Kara is a model dual enrollment student, and where are you enrolled at?
I was dual enrolled through the high school at Central Florida.
Okay, Central Florida, okay. She completes assignments, prepares for tests, and makes prior arrangements if she has to miss class. She is a true pleasure to have in class. Kara is also trying to do better. At what?
Math was an 87. I barely passed that midterm. That's not my strong suit.
But the key word is you did pass. You passed. Oh, jeez. And yeah, she's always trying to do better. She always asks for constructive criticism, and she is always willing to help others. I guess this is in your spare time that you try to help others?
I don't have spare time. I was working 3 jobs last semester. And I had 10 classes. Give her an
I just don't know what else to say here. I really don't here. So, outstanding. That's all I can say. Well, here I have a certificate for a 14-inch two-topping pizza from Domino's. Also, here's the American flag and the Florida flag pin, and here is a city pin for you. No, thank you. Hold on, you good. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna mess this up. Kyron Penny. Did I say that right? I did? Good for me. Okay. You got some people here supporting you? That's awesome, though. But be careful. Might be missing you for tonight. Anyway, Sharonda Watkins nominated Karen and stated that he puts forth all his effort in his work. You like to work? What's your favorite class in school? Math. Here we go again. I tell you what, last time when we started all this, 4 out of 5 people came up and said math was their favorite subject. And I think that is absolutely outstanding. He makes very good grades and is one of the most memorable students that I know. He doesn't hesitate to help others with tasks and is a big encourager in the classroom and out of the classroom. He is also a great leader, being an example to other students and athletes that academics come first and play a major role in their future. What do you like to play, if I don't?
Basketball.
No, I would never have guessed that. So are you playing on the, let's see, you playing on middle school? Are you any good? Yeah. What's your average?
Like what?
Yeah.
Like
7 rebounds? No, assists? Okay. Well, you do that. Okay. You want to play for the high school too? You going to teach them a few things? And she went on to say that he is a pleasure to have in his class. What's your ambition when you get out of school? Besides going and playing pro basketball, or have you even thought about that? Haven't thought about that? I don't blame you. You too young. You don't need to think about that right. Just enjoy these next few years for you. Let's give him a big hand. You like pizza too? Oh my. Everybody likes pizza. Where is it? That's it. So here's your pizza certificate from Domino's, and also a little flag pin and a little city pin. Thank you. Okay. I don't like to embarrass myself when I pronounce a name. And let's see if we get this right. Olivia Westbrook. Did I say that right? Yeah. Okay, well, good. All right. Olivia, she's in the 5th grade, and she was nominated by Priscilla Fugit Ayers. And she went on to say, you scared? Okay, good. Olivia is an exceptional young lady. She is always eager to learn, and has excellent participation in class. What's your favorite? It's what? Your subject? What's your favorite subject? Science. Science, math, that's good. You're doing good, something good over there at these schools. Olivia is very responsible and consistently puts forth her best effort to succeed academically. Her teachers and fellow students appreciate her positive attitude and consideration for others. It is a pleasure to recognize Olivia as not only her STEM Teacher Student of the Month for December, but for Williston Elementary School Student of the Month. Well, you just wrapped up, didn't you? You get all kinds of stuff. Smile, it won't hurt. Okay, good girl. She does embody the qualities of a model Williston Elementary School student. You like school? You do? You do anything else over at school? Where do you work? Oh, you don't work yet? You don't have a job? Okay. Did you have a good Christmas? Santa Claus good to you? Yeah. You know the guy with the beard. He was good to you? Okay. Let's give her a big hand. Okay, hang on. And you can share if you want to, but you don't have to, because that's yours, okay? Here's your little flag. And here's a little receipt for you. Thank you, hon. You want to stay my little I tell you what, we got some great kids here in this town. You know what? We really do. Okay. Kai, come on down. How you doing, gal? You doing good? Are you nervous now? All right. All right. Good girl. Good girl. All right. Miss Bannon is the one that nominated her. She's in the kindergarten. Kyan is deserving of this award. When I met her at our Meet the Teacher night, was that when all you went and you met all the teachers at kindergarten and all that? Do you like Miss Bannon? Okay, good. Uh-huh.
Who's my favorite teacher?
Oh, okay. Oh. Last time it took me a while to get up. Okay. And Ms. Bannon said that she knew that she was a special child, and she has proven that. Kyan is funny. You funny? She's kind. She's smart, and has the sweetest heart. Academically, Kyan always gives her best effort and continues to grow each day. You cannot teach effort, motivation, and perseverance. This little girl just has it all. Whoa! You might want to take her an apple or something, I tell you what. Kyan is one of the kindest kids I have met. She is respectful to adults, but it is the way she interacts with her peers that makes her stand out. She is always willing to help. This can mean playing with someone who may not have a friend, walking with another student who may not know how to get somewhere on campus, so you help other kids in school too? All right. Good. Good for you. You make them happy when they're sad. Good. And help a friend during their center rotations, whatever that is. Kyan has so many positive characteristics. I could go on and on listing all the reasons why she was chosen as Student of the Month. Kaya, Miss Bannon is proud of you. Keep working hard and always keep the love in your heart. You will do wonderful things. You want pizza too? Okay, just a minute. Okay. Oh, I want to tell you. Whoops. Here's your certificate. Here's your piece. Now, you can share if you want to, but you, honestly, you don't have to, because it's all yours. Okay? And here's your flag. And here's a city pen. One more time. Come on over, kid. Okay. Can I have one over here, please? One over here? Okay, this is good. Come on in. Come on in. Oh, okay. I'm afraid of this one. All right, smile pretty for the cameras.
There you go.
There you go.
100%. That's right.
Are we done? Wow, one more hand for everybody. Okay, thank you guys.
That was a little loud.
Now you know why we love the Student of the Month. This is your heart right here. And we know how much you love us and you're here doing your civic duty, but if you need to leave for some reason, we'll wait for you to leave.
You may have sex with us.
Y'all have a good night. Hey, let's go.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, so turn it back on, sorry so much. Okay, at this time is item number 3, which is public participation. This is your first chance up to tonight to talk about something for 5 minutes that is not on the agenda. If you have anything that you'd like to bring to our attention at this moment, please come to the microphone.
Unmute your mic and speak up.
Anybody online? See, you're talking to somebody, so there's somebody there. Ooh, hello. How are you?
Giving me opportunity.
You will please state your name and city residence. Thank you, sir.
Not on, but anyway, you can hear me. Marvin Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Business owner, being of Unique South at 28 East Noble. And Happy New Year to the council.
Happy New Year to you.
And happy everything's going to get back to normal. Just kind of want to touch bases concerning the potholes that's behind the building. They have gotten a lot worse. We got cow trailers back there. We got tractor trailers coming back there now, and almost busted the tie rod. We were gonna take care of it before. I guess, I know you guys were busy, it was the holidays, but if we could expedite that, because it has gotten really, really bad, because a lot of truckers are parking at Melanie because they have to eat. There's nothing wrong with that, but we do have that problem right now that escalates. Other than that, we're pretty good. Thank everybody, Happy New Year.
Mr. Barber, you made a note of that? Thank you so much.
All right, appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Mr. Johnson. Anybody else at this time? Okay, then we're gonna move on then to item number 4, which is our consent agenda. And that currently consists of the council meeting minutes of December 7th. I would entertain a motion for approval, if you so desire. Thank you, ma'am.
I second that.
I have a motion and I have a second. Is there any further discussion on the motion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 5 is old business, and the first item is staff, board, and council update. And we will start with the city manager, Ms. Jackie Gorman.
Good evening, council, and happy new year to everyone. I put on the dais for you to look at is our marketing brochure that we started last year. We need to get this completed. So if you'll just take a look, make some comments, tell me what you want to see, what you don't like, and let us get this thing finalized. Once it's done, we're gonna put it in a glossy magazine form so that we can hand it out, because we have a lot of people that's inquiring about being here, and there's good information in this. One thing I did notice is we need, our next site, when we have our marketing study done, it did get in and talk about populations within so many miles of the city. I'll be clarifying that a little bit, that's one of the notes that I made, but, economic development is the name of the game for this year, trying to understand our target market, who we're trying to attract, with all the studies we're doing and all the, master planning, getting that underway, starting our programs, is perfect time for industry to start coming in and commercial development. So if y'all will just make your comments on this and either, send me your comments by email or just scratch this up and get it back to me and we'll get this finalized.
Do you want it on the next agenda, or is it just back to you?
Just back to me if you
Okay,
would,
just back
unless
to
there's
you.
something you think we need to discuss.
No, I just, so it will give us a time frame to do it, and we might accomplish it.
Yeah, I'd really like to get this done by the end of the month.
Okay. All
Um,
right, so if we can get it back to you by our next council meeting.
That would be wonderful, if you wanna bring it back, that'd be great, and, I appreciate that.
Ms. Latricia, if you'll put it on the next agenda for discussion. Thank you very much. Anything else?
Right now, just getting everybody back, and I would like to, now that the holidays are, we're getting moving forward, so we have a lot on our plate. You'll be getting, we're trying to compile a list of grants that we have obtained and that we've applied for. We're looking at millions, in grant applications and grants that's been awarded. So we want you to have the opportunity to keep up with it, because they're coming quick.
Right.
I tell you, between, Laura and Donald and, fire and police and all the things we have going, it's something that we need to keep in check. And I know legislation days are coming up, we wanna really keep on with our safety complex and try and get our appropriation, and I think, Fire Chief's gonna speak to that, but it's just important that we stay on top of this, because there's more money at us, we want to capture as much as we can, we have a lot of infrastructure needs. So other than that, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ross, do you have anything for this agenda? At this time?
I don't recall if I ever got a response back from the request I had about 11th Avenue, but I did want to thank, city workers for going out and cutting around, even though there's still overgrowth, it looks a lot better just by doing this, so I just want to say I appreciate that.
Saying her mic is not working.
It's on.
Okay, so maybe she needs a battery.
Possibly.
Okay, anything else in time? Thank you so much. Mr. Barber, you made that note?
Okay.
About 11. Okay, anything else, Mr. Mayor? At this time? Ms. Robinson? No. Mr. Cox?
Nope,
Okay, we will go then to, hold on, I'm going to staff next.
Okay.
That's all right, you're good. Anybody from staff have anything that they'd like to do in the way of announcements or updates?
I've got one.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow, you're going to receive an email that's gonna tell you how to track House Bill 3019. That way you can see how it moves through the House of Representatives here in the state of Florida. Attached to House Bill 3019 is the City of Williston, Public Safety Complex.
Cool.
So if this bill passes, this is the first step of the new public safety complex.
Thank you. Does it have a place we can comment as well?
I'm not sure what all's coming to you tomorrow. It'll
Okay.
be an email tomorrow and we'll go from there.
All right, so we just need to, it's coming to our city email address.
Yes.
Perfect.
And, I would ask if you know anybody that you can reach out to in the next couple of months, reach out.
Okay. All right, anybody else on that back row have any updates at this time? If not, we'll move forward.
What's money you talking about, public safety?
Lamar, do you remember the amount of that?
$5 million.
House Bill 3019?
$5 million.
$5 million.
Okay. All right, then we will move then to item B, which is discussion of possible action of the city clerk evaluation. And this is something we assigned to the new HR director, Ms. Tina Nelson.
Yes, good evening, everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
I did include in your packet the revised evaluation and also her, general statement of her job, so that you all can review that, make any notes or comments, and let me know if there's any additions or changes that you're recommending. I would like to make note that I will be adding her duty that's not included, where she is managing for FMIT, the property and vehicle liability insurance. So I'll be adding that to the evaluation and to her, job description as well. But please review and get back to me, whatever comments or suggestions or changes you
I think I
already
had one or two, so I'll give those to you as well.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am. That won't take up time here if I do that.
great.
If anybody else has anything to add on that, and then you'll be sending it out to us. Actually, we'll be waiting for her self-eval,
Yes, yes,
and at that point, we'll actually execute the evaluation,
absolutely.
okay? Anybody have any questions on how we'll proceed? All right, thank you very much. Item number 6 is new business, and we have with us tonight Beverly Berry, who is here to speak with us about Eagle Biscuit. We're excited you're there.
Thank you.
It may not be on.
It's on.
It's on? It's on? Can you hear me?
I can. Yeah, that worked that time. Just think it's kept close.
Good evening, council and guests. My name is Beverly Berry, and we are a new business here to the Williston Airport. I have a whole lot of notes. I'm going to try to condense it down. Just in December, you all had a vote in regards to us assuming current lease out at the airport. And with the help of Benton, from the manager, Single, from the airport, he helped us get into that position. We desperately needed a new place to move, and we were attracted to the Williston area because the airport is amazing. It is very, very a good place for us for our training, which I'm going to tell you about in just a second. So it's a top-notch airport. I hope you all appreciate that and know that.
We know it's a diamond in the rough.
Yes, it definitely is.
We're glad you found it.
Yes, yes, and we also, because of our business and what we do, being part of an agricultural community is very important to us. So that also was attractive to us. We are here. We have moved everything, and we are in the process of trying to organize so that we can start bringing our students in. Our business was started over 14 years ago by my late husband and myself. We train agricultural pilots from all over the United States and all over the world. There was a need for minimum standards for agricultural pilots. Currently, in the United States, neither FAA nor our national association have minimum standards for agricultural pilots. And that's huge because some of you may know, they fly in a very low environment, and there are a lot of risks involved. And so, with the minimum standards that my late husband established, we're able to train, pilots. Some may come to us from 0 time, so our students may start with absolutely no, flying background at all, or we may have very experienced pilots that come and train with us, to go on to become agricultural pilots. So, it's important that we be in this environment here, the agricultural environment. We'll have, one of the needs we'll have in this community is to locate some farmers, some growers that will let us use some of their farmlands as practice areas. And, they will always, students will always be under supervision of one of our instructors, which I'm going to introduce you to our staff. I have one of my instructors with us here tonight. And, it's just, they'll always, be only spraying water. There are no chemicals involved in our training purposes, so there's no danger in that part. So we've also, bring, some very cool airplanes with us. We have, a 2-place biplane called an AgCat for training purposes. We have a Cessna 305 L-19, also called the Bird Dog, and an actual spray plane, that does the spraying with water, a Pawnee. And, our students may come, and train from 0 time, and they may stay as many as 6 months, 4 to 6 months with us. Some of the, experienced pilots that come to stay with us may only, maybe complete in a 2-week program. One of the very important needs that I have right now, and I'm reaching out to the community now, is I've got to find housing for these students. My last student came from Washington State. He doesn't know anybody here. We've got to find houses for them. You know, we have students that do come from a foreign environment, and we're introducing them to the agricultural community here, and they're coming here strictly to train with us. They are, come from a varied backgrounds, but all of it's pretty much agricultural based, because that's what we do. Although some of our pilots do go on to the firefighting. I have 2 students this week in a national program learning to be firefighters for the single engine air tanker, airplanes. And so that's, you know, a point that we're very proud of. I also, in the past, I have done an economic impact based on how many students we bring in, what length of time they stay here, and the economic impact that it can occur to you in your community. At some point, I'm happy to come back and work on that further for you all. I know that's important for Ben when he goes to his funding for FAA and FDOT for expansions. And it's amazing, because not only do they come to train with us, then they have to stay here for housing, and then they have to eat here, and they, buy gas and, whatever, while they're here. So it is quite amazing, how long that happens, how that happens. So, I would just, because of the very important training that we do, we have, received coverage in national and international publications. You guys are welcome to look at, so they're about us. I'd like to introduce our staff that I have with me today. And so first, John Becker, one of our ag pilot instructors. He's also former fighter pilot. This man has an extraordinary background in flight and flight training. So, and he also lives not too far from y'all in Tehachapi, Florida. So we're grateful to have him here. And Ty Sabata is our chief mechanic. Ty has been with us for over 6 years, and he came to us an apprentice. My husband worked with him, training him from his background, and he earned an A&P aircraft mechanics license and a pilot's license. and in just a few months, he'll become an inspection, an IA, which, is more, maintenance levels that we can do. So besides the flight training that we do from 0 time up to ag pilot, commercial pilot, instrument rating, we'll also do aircraft maintenance. And, that's, there's a shortage of mechanics for, just aviation in general aviation. So, we're proud to have Ty with us. I also have my son, Eric Shirley, here. And, Eric is our IT guy and, construction supervisor, whatever we need, and he's helped us move. So,
Welcome, all of you.
thank you, thank you. Y'all are welcome to come visit us sometime. I'm happy to have you guys come out and see us and, see our airplanes.
For perspective, they're in the old sheriff's hangar,
Okay,
or just to let you know where they are.
sure. We have a huge map, of the United States and a huge map of the world that shows where our graduates come from. And, we have stories on all those students. It's just, it's one of the, you can ask our, staff, that's one of the most rewarding things, is us getting to know these people from all over, and they've come here to train with us on this specialty.
And we, as you know, we don't have a hotel, but we do have some random rooms and rentals,
Yes,
that we can let you know about if Ben hadn't already
Yes.
let you know those.
yes, please let me know some of that.
And there's some Airbnbs as well,
Yeah,
that, I think the one I know sleeps 4 or 5,
okay.
and
Yeah, I'm
it's
happy
reasonable.
to take some of that information. You know, the main thing is on a long-term basis, you know, it's a challenge to
Right.
get that.
It is.
And, in the other locations we've been in, we've been able to kind of fill that need, but, it takes a village.
It does.
For us all to do that.
If I may ask,
Thank you.
if you were looking, at housing, what are you looking at for housing for your students? 5 rooms, 10 rooms, 15 rooms?
Short-term rental.
Yeah,
Any idea?
I need 4 to 5, 4 to
start?
5 easy. I've got 2 students that wanted to come here 0 time, so that would be 4 to 6 months. And,
2 Hall Kamak.
yeah, if I can't,
2 Hall Kamak has 4
okay,
rooms, and with a common living room and kitchen.
okay,
It would be really good for them. We
okay,
could put you in touch with them.
yeah, share that with me, so just,
There's some others as well that have,
Okay.
tiny home rentals.
yeah.
You may know
And I've
about
looked
those.
at those a little bit, that's not on the affordable rate,
Right.
at least what
Right.
I've seen so far. You know, for a visitor to a couple nights, yes, but long-term, it just won't work,
Right,
so.
the Airbnb would.
Yeah, but we are happy to become part of this community. We know you all have an active EAA chapter out at the airport, and, you know, that's our introduction to aviation to the young people in the community.
You're meeting tonight, by the way.
Yeah,
You're meeting tonight.
I know, they already told me I missed the steak dinner tonight or
Yeah,
something.
you are, steak dinner tonight.
Yeah, but thank you so much for your time, and
Thank you.
any questions y'all have, please let me know.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll move to item B,
Which is resolution 2022-01, a resolution of the city of Williston, Florida, amending the bylaws of the Williston Community Redevelopment Agency, amending the bylaws and providing an effective date. Ms. Jones.
Good evening.
She's in the back.
Hi. The CRA board reviewed, their bylaws in the past few months, and they made just a few changes. They already brought this to resolution in their meetings, but we need to bring it to yours for a resolution on your side. So the amendments were to change chairperson and vice chairperson to chair and vice chair throughout the bylaws. They talked about missed meetings. Before it said their position would be forfeited after 3 consecutive meetings without an approved excuse. They wanted to change that to 3 meetings within a calendar year without an approved excuse. They also just changed a little bit of a typo. here it said recorded and maintained of, and we just changed that to recorded and maintained for. And that was all the changes.
Is there a definition for excused absence? That was my only question.
The excused absence definition is that they contact you 24 hours before, and that's not in the bylaws. But it's something that they need. If it's an emergency,
It's in your minutes, right?
yeah.
I can uphold it that way,
If,
maybe.
if there's an emergency, they can have an unexcused absence. But having 3 absences with no contact in a year or a calendar year just seems kind of more than we wanted. So they can have an unexcused. In fact, we had a meeting a few months ago when we were over there, and one of them was in an accident. They had the police come and knock on the door to make sure that I knew that. It was a little scary at first, but, so they're very, you know, they try to stick to having excused absence.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Ms. Jones? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval of resolution 2022-01. Already 2022. I move that we approve resolution 2022-01. We'll have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion from anyone? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Anything else, Ms. Jones, on that subject?
No, thank you.
Okay, we'll move to item C, resolution 2022-02, a resolution of the City of Williston, Florida, authorizing submittal of an application to the State of Florida Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, HMGP, and authorizing acceptance and execution of the grant if awarded. Ms. Jones, this one is also yours.
So this is, something that is required by the grant, that we make somebody at the city the authorized agent. We recently submitted a grant under FEMA's Hazard Mitigation Grant Program to upgrade 3 lift stations, Fugit, Acre, and Russell. And, we need paperwork signed that the city manager could be an authorized agent. So when or if we get awarded, or if we have any other papers to sign, she would be allowed to do those for the city. Now, we wouldn't accept this grant without coming to you first. If we do get awarded, we would obviously come to you because there's going to be some matching and there's going to be some obligations that we have to meet. But this is just for her to be able to sign for you.
Mr. Mayor.
How much is the grant for, and what would be the match?
This particular grant was for $4.1 million.
How much?
$4.1 million
And the match?
was 25%. However, we have plans to get that covered, not through.
So you got plans for other grants to cover that 600,000 plus?
Yes, sir.
And if that doesn't come through?
Then we may or may not accept the grant. We have time. This is gonna be a big one. It's 3 years, and we're not going to know anything about it for a while. But, we won't put you in any bad situations, but we will have to do some action that we don't wanna have to bring back to council every time. And that's why we asked if Jackie could be our signer, or any city manager.
And if I may, for the record, this is to upgrade all railway stations. This is critical as part of our infrastructure program moving forward. So we will methodically, I mean, we're really gonna be watching this, and it's over like 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So over that 3 years, there's a lot of options out there to help us with our match. Our government's got a lot of grants for infrastructure right now. So right now, we're working with Wright Pierce to try and figure that out. But this is exciting for us because our lift stations we really need this. So we'd like to try and see if we can't secure something that will help the city move forward.
Your feeling? Do you want to know as we go and have the council sign it, or you want to give the city manager option to do that until it's actually awarded? Totally up to y'all.
Well, President Jones, you're gonna know as we go. you're gonna know as we go. We're not gonna do anything without your authorization.
But you're wanting that,
Oh.
exactly what I heard. Yeah, that's not what I heard either.
This is, Jackie won't sign anything without your authorization. We just wanted Jackie to be part of the grant was to have a person who can sign, and it has to have a resolution go with it. And we have to have a meeting that says that she's authorized to sign on your behalf. But as your staff, we're not gonna do anything without your authorization.
If I may ask, Laura, what was the downside of having council president sign? Is it timing? Was that the issue?
It was timing because there may be things that need to be signed quickly, and none of that would happen without prior authorization, but it would maybe come through. It was recommended by our grant.
So often they throw me out.
It was recommended by our grant, consultants that we have city manager and not city council be the authorizing body.
And it's timing, we've come by this before, this is, yeah. And what we're doing for you, just so you know, is we're compiling a list of grants and where we're at with every one of them, so that you're up to date, because we've got a lot happening on our end. That's been very busy. And that way you can follow and track it with us, so that you're not surprised. And I'm not gonna go forward with something if we don't have the funds.
Not that doesn't
It's not gonna happen, so,
For 600.
guardian of your budget, trying to make sure that's right.
Do I have a motion? I have to have one for somebody to do this, because we do have to have a resolution. Right. That states somebody's gonna sign. So how do you feel about it?
My thought behind it is, if we're gonna know about it anyway, then you might as well, whoever the president is, might as well just sign it. If it's something that is time sensitive, then how does the council know about it if it has to be done, like right away?
Excellent.
At this point, you are here, you don't want to be going anywhere. But if you go somewhere and the next person comes and sits in your spot, now we've given that authority to that person as well. So I believe that we should leave it with the council.
Ms. Hines?
Yes, ma'am.
It can only be Jackie Gorman for now, until that person changes, because she's going to be the named person on the grant.
So if she leaves,
If she leaves, we'd have to have a new resolution and come up with a new designated authority. And that's one of the reasons our consultant asked us, because there is an election year coming up, and we had to have a name.
So not a position, but a name.
Yes, ma'am. Government's weird, I don't know.
Can always do another resolution.
We can always change it.
Yeah.
We can also always call an emergency meeting, if that needs to happen. Just saying, I don't know a problem either way you go, just.
And surely it wouldn't be that time sensitive.
right.
I'm curious, Laura, what her reasoning, just so I understand it too, what kind of time-sensitive documents are we talking about? Grant applications,
They don't think that there will be any. They're just concerned because they just feel like city managers are the better person for this kind of authority. But if this council doesn't think so, we can always we can change it.
Who is the grant being awarded by?
FEMA.
FEMA. I know we've applied for a FEMA grant for.
they're not easy. My experience with FEMA. Yeah, it might be. My experience with FEMA, and I've got a lot of it, is they're itching. They're constantly calling, they wanna talk to the designated person. That might be what's
I
happening.
mean, it doesn't matter to me.
And we can get clarification on this too, but I'm thinking, and I'm asking the same questions you are. But I'm thinking that's why. FEMA does things completely different.
I mean, we should be able to have a contact person,
Right.
who is the person to talk to, who would be the city manager, obviously, or the utility director, for that matter, and have someone else be the signer. Why can't there be two different people?
We do have a contact. We have 3 or 4 contacts on this grant I know Dennis Davis was one of them, Jonathan was one of them, I was one of them, and I believe Jackie.
Okay, so
But
they
do
can talk
have
to
other
all of those
contacts.
people.
Mhm.
So the talking to people is not the problem, it's who's gonna sign the paperwork.
The signature, right.
Does our charter not say that the president of the council is the person that executes those documents? I mean,
I didn't think the charter referred to that, but I'm good if you.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me, because Ms. Hines is exactly right. The very next person could be somebody totally different.
If it specifically says Jackie Gorman, city manager. I would have asked these questions, but I've been in the office, so I'm kind of asking the same thing you are. But I can tell you FEMA operates completely different than the other grants that we do.
Right.
They're very difficult, so.
This was just based on a recommendation by, our consultants that have put in these types of grants for us in the past. And and I actually had the president on there, and they said, no, make it the city manager. And I don't know why, it was just from experience, I'm sure.
Okay, so somebody decide so that we can move on. We talked about this enough, I mean, okay, I've heard how Ms. Hines feels. How does this side of the table feel?
Well, how many of the, with the new neighborhood coming in, lift stations are they doing?
I don't think any of this, they're paying for that one themselves.
Right.
These are 3 old ones that we're doing that are falling apart.
So, I don't have a problem with it, you know, as far as a signature, you know, being from Jackie. But then, you know, if down the road she retires, we have somebody else, then we would just be bringing somebody.
Do a new resolution.
New resolution.
Right. And I'm okay with it as long as we're not spending money or obligating.
Exactly. I have no problem with it as long as it says Jackie Gorman, city manager. We get a new city manager, we get a new resolution.
Everybody okay with that? Let's hear it in the form of a motion. It would be resolution 2022-02.
I move that we approve resolution 2022-02.
I said,
I have a motion in 2 or 3 seconds. I can't tell which one I heard first. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Item D, discussion with possible action of Nolan Howard replat. And I know we have Ms. Jones and Mr. McMillan here for this purpose. Who's starting?
I'll start.
Okay.
So in front of you, if you'd like to take a look at a bigger drawing, is we're calling it the Nolan Howard replat. This is parcel 05566 00000 and 0566 00100. This is located a block away on the other side of block 12. There's an old daycare and a barber shop. And in the past, the daycare had encroached on the barber shop's property, and now the barber shop would like to sell, and the daycare was acquired at a tax sale, so they wanted to clean up this lot, and clean up this property line, so that they could move on and do whatever construction they wanted to do. So we just moved the property line over, but we had to do a plat. They're located at 105 Northeast First and 31 Northeast First. Does everybody understand where that is? On the corner across the
I
street?
can tell you it confused me terribly because they're front facing, not on the same road.
Yeah.
But Mr. McMillan set me straight, so I know what we're talking about now. And they were owned at one time by the same person.
Yes, yes,
That's
ma'am.
why we have this problem, I guess.
So the
Because
purpose,
they had a flower shop where the barber shop is, and they lived where the daycare is.
yes, ma'am.
Many, many years ago.
So the purpose of this is to just clearly delineate this so that two different owners can, have their properties and be on their own property. They're both zoned commercial, so there are no setbacks or minimum lot sizes to consider. This has already been through planning and zoning, and it was approved on December 14th, 2021. So we recommend approval of this replat.
Latricia, can you move to page 44? Is that the one that shows the new property line? That one doesn't show it, right? Is this the one that shows the new property line? Okay. And it just goes around the building and kind of juts around? Okay?
So, is there an old property line?
I think the building encroached on it.
You
The
wanna-
actual building itself is
The
in
aerial has a dotted line through it, you can see it.
I couldn't see any of it. I tried and I didn't make
Yeah,
sure.
what's in our packet's too little, even if you put it on a computer screen. I tried blowing it up. I looked out there too, but I think this shows the new one, not the old one.
Steve McMillan, Surveying. Here. Yeah. I can't reach that.
Oh,
Sure you
come on.
can.
Right here is the original lot line in the dash. In the shaded area is the old daycare. So this much, a large part of the building was hanging over. It was never intended to be sold as two separate
Right.
lots. It was always one lot.
Yeah.
So it was two lots, but one parcel. So you can see that lot line coming through there.
Y'all remember Grace Golden? She lived there and owned the property
And then
when I was a child.
it got split into its respectable lots, sold off to different people, and that's where the problem came in. Is, hey, my building's hanging over in your lot, so let's, make a new line, there's no setbacks in this area, so we were able to follow the building, move around, just move the lot line, so that now each will comply. Right now, they're not in compliance due to the encroachment of the building.
Okay? I'll see the dotted line on here now, if I make it bigger. I can see the dotted line, which is the old property line.
So when it was sold that way, were they aware that?
One was a tax sale, the daycare was a tax sale, the other one was, the barber shop. That's, I know, it's the gun shop.
Ray Gann's gun shop.
Yeah. I don't know what they knew when they bought this,
If they didn't do a title search, they probably didn't know it.
well, they didn't have a survey done, they wouldn't have known.
Well, that too.
So, I don't know, but this will clean it up, both parties I've dealt with. Usually subdivisions that I do don't have more than one entity as the owner. So now I gotta balance between two entities, there's two owners, but they're getting along fine, and they're all agreeing to this line, and everything's
Okay,
groovy.
perfect. I guess my next question is, it says, discussing the possible action, do we need a resolution? I guess I'm asking Kirsten that question. The attorney that's online.
Hang on a second, Kirsten, you're up.
Is it Kirsten or Mr. Scott?
It's
Kirsten,
Kirsten,
hold
hold
on
on
a
a second.
I also need to ask a question.
All right, you're on.
Mr. Nolan.
Okay, repeat the question just a little bit louder, sorry.
Okay, on our agenda, it says, discussion with possible action, Nolan Howard replat. Can we proceed, or do we need to have a resolution in order to do it?
You will need a resolution in order to do this, I believe.
We'll need a resolution, I think, to sign off on the plat. So we'll have to sign off on the plat, right?
The city will have to
Yeah.
sign off.
Yeah, you'll be
I've never
asking
seen
for
a
my
resolution
signature.
before. I've only seen, I come, I get a motion and approval, and then I take off.
Okay, so we can do it with a motion and a second, giving permission for the city president to sign the plat.
Yeah.
Okay, without a resolution. All right, everybody agree with that?
Yeah. I got a question.
Mr. Mayor?
Looking at some of these documents in here, I see, like one of yours that says, I, Dan Nolan, and Samantha Carruthers. The only signature I see on any of these documents is Dan Nolan. Now, if this said Dan Nolan or Samantha Carruthers, okay, but doesn't Carruthers have to sign these also?
Should have been a second, you looking at the authorization?
I think there's two of them.
I thought there was a second.
I see one where Dan signed it, I see one where Howard signed it.
Yes. I don't think there's one for Carruthers. I think you're right.
I hadn't seen one that Carruthers signed.
If I may, do we have a title opinion on this? Do we have a title? You have to have it within 30 days of signing the plat.
Yeah, there's title.
So whatever that says has to be on the plat, if you match it with title, right?
Right, I think you're talking about the,
If
I have the clients sign an authorization to allow us to represent them at these meetings.
Right.
That's what I think he's looking at.
Yeah.
There would have been two of those, because I never get all the points in the same one.
Well, I just saw one with Dan's name
Well,
on
I
it.
know we've got two, that's pretty much
But our staff needs to.
Do that her signature. They're both in our packet.
They both.
They're both in our
Could that be her
packet.
signature?
And for our staff to just
I
make
don't
sure.
see that as signature. I don't know.
Well, it looks like
It doesn't,
Mr. McMillan, here's your packet, right here.
Our staff, one of the things on this plat, one of our responsibilities is to make sure this title matches what's on the plat. Just to confirm that everything, all the owners are up to date within 30 days of the final. So if we've done that, then the plat's correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's correct, I don't.
Isn't that her signature right there?
Page 37.
Page 37.
Yes.
That's on for them.
No, I did have them both.
Yeah, they're both in here.
Not very clear, but it's there.
Yeah, it's here.
This one was.
Okay, I see
So I
that.
did get them both.
I see that.
And then that was.
that's the, okay.
They're on the same page here.
Oh, no, she
That's
isn't.
all we're looking for.
Okay. It's just, I just couldn't see a signature.
Okay, so I have a question. Go for it. I don't know whether I should excuse myself from this, if this is a vote, because Dan Nolan is my neighbor, and I think he's still a neighbor.
No,
I don't think that he's your neighbor, he don't have
No.
a financial interest.
no, if you had a financial interest in it or something, yes. But I don't think just because he lives across the street, no.
If you'd like to ask.
Kirsten. That's correct.
Thank you. Okay.
Page 37, quick claim deed. Do you have a copy, Laura, of the title? I just want to make sure everybody's clear that we'll make sure that we have that within 30 days of the signing of the plat, and so signatures match, just so you know that's your.
Please, yeah, yeah. All right, let me get back to the beginning page again. Yeah. So we know how to state this motion. We've got to have the numbers. As shown on the plat. So many pages, there it is, right there. Okay, so what we need is a motion, for the replat of parcel 05566000000 and 05566000100, which is the Nolan Howard replat, as shown on the survey. Anyone like to make that motion as stated? Please. Please.
I make a motion that we approve the replat, as stated with all of the numbers.
All the parcel numbers as read. Do I have a second to the motion? I'll second. I have a motion and a second. Do I have any further discussion from anyone? Any questions from anyone? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I did want to just introduce my oldest son, Stephen. He's in school for surveying.
Woo-woo.
He can have it here shortly. So he's been in charge of all the plats. So we've got about 15 record plats going. He's
Wow.
taking those over.
Well, good.
So he'll be eventually taking over for me
For him.
as I ride off into the sunset.
Yeah,
Just
right.
pay him
Sure.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move then to item E, which is resolution 2021, is it really 2022? Because it's got a 03 after it. 2022-03, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Levy County, Florida, approving a sealed bid auction for surplus property of vehicle number 151, as shown in our packet. Chief Stroh.
The packet kind of explains that the car was involved in a traffic crash. We talked about it last meeting. I just need to surplus it so we can sell it at sealed bid and put the money back in our budget.
Is the traffic crash or the deer?
It's just one and the same.
What was that answer?
It's one and the
One
same.
and the same. One and the same.
The traffic crash involving the deer.
Okay, thank you very much. I knew the deer won. At least it was
The deer did not win.
The deer didn't win anyway. Oh, yeah, the deer's not with us any longer, huh? So I took it home. All right, so I have resolution 2022-03 as stated in the packet.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I move that we approve resolution 2022-03.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. Mine just died.
Yeah, you
I
died.
felt it when it quit. Is there any discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you. You're a loud talker. Okay, so then we have done away with F because that was the duplicate, so we'll move to G, which is the city manager evaluation, and possible action. Okay, and we have that, Ms. Stelson, if you would like to tell us your process. I will let people know that you received it late because she did not receive it on time.
But it's okay, it was on time enough. So it's okay.
So that's why you've just received it tonight. So I'll just let her tell you the process she went through.
Thank you all for sending in your responses to the evaluation. I did compile all of your responses into one, and that's what I gave you this evening, just so that you could see everyone's responses all together. And Deborah is going to kind of speak through the results and just kind of let everybody know the results.
Okay. Page 1 is just strictly the purpose of the instruction, so we'll move to page 2, which again is the consolidated evaluation. Under performance evaluation and achievements for city council relationships, I don't know that you want me to read each of these. I don't see an overall score, but you can see those together on your own. The results going from a 5, which means outstanding, to a 3, which means meets job standards. There's nothing below a 3. The majority are in the 4 and 5. Any questions about that section before I move a little farther? Okay. Under public relations, pretty much the same. And you can also see the comments that are under each section. And I can read those if you'd like for me to. And you can read them for yourself. Okay. Under the public relations, again, the highs are in the 5s, and the lowest score is in the 3s, with the 5 again being outstanding and the 3 meaning meets expectations. Okay. Effective leadership of staff. Again, 3s, 4s, and 5s, with the majority being in the 5 category, which includes delegating responsibilities and offering training and support for leadership from staff. And number 4, which is fiscal management, I have highs in the 5s. We have a few 4s, again some 3s, and 1, 2. The 2 stands for improvement needed, as defined on page 2, if you'd like to refer back. There are also some comments in that area, all of which are positive. So, we'll move then to, I need to take this onto here, communication. I have scores in the 5s and the 4s. Again, it's adding all of us together. The majority of them are in the 4s. There are 2 in the 5, 2 in the 3s. Comments as well. Professional traits, which is initiative, judgment, fairness, impartiality, and creativity. Most are in the 4s and 5s. There is 1 that's in the 3s. There are comments there as well, that you can see. Intergovernmental affairs. We have, as you can see, most are the 4s and 5s, 1 in the 3s, and looks like 1 other in the 2s. Turn to page 5. Economic development. So majority are in the 4s and 5s. There are some in the 3s. The 3s, again, meaning meets standard. 4 meaning consistently above level of expectation, and 5 meaning outstanding. We see here as achievements that were listed under the comments. I am going to read those. The HR director position was established, which was one of her achievements. The public works manager position has been effectively filled permanently. She controls financial expenditures and has secured stormwater management grant that we are putting out to bid as we speak. Also, you see the summary rating of all of us. There are 4 exceeds job standards and 1 meets job standards. Comments there: improve accountability for department management and reliability. These are goals. Nope, those are not goals. Goals: continue utility study rates as needed. Investigate payroll options. Continue efforts for improving in planning and zoning area. And continuing improvement for the City of Williston Airport Industrial Park and utilities for the customers there. Those were the goals that we gave her as we did her evaluation. I'm sure she had her own goals when she gave us her self-eval. Is there anything else that any of you would like to discuss?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Was mine included?
I don't believe so. There are 5. There are 5.
Why not?
Because yours doesn't count in the score.
It was included in the last city manager's.
I don't think so.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was, yeah.
It definitely was.
I did know that.
It definitely was, and also on the city clerk evaluations.
Okay, so you'll have to tell me how you feel about it,
Now, if there was
because I didn't believe that it was supposed to be.
If there was any raises or anything like that, I'm out of it, but just,
I know we received your eval, but I don't know that it was included here. Would y'all like it amended to include his scores and his comments? Because at my direction, they were not there. I didn't realize they were supposed to be there.
they've been done in the past, that's all
I wasn't here in the past, so I'm sorry. I didn't know
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
And I thought the direction was that they didn't count in the score. I thought that's what we had said, but if not, please let me know and we will change
Once I even
things.
turn one in.
So that she would know how you felt.
But if it's not even considered,
The thing is he's on the signature page.
He is on the signature page. I'm telling you, if y'all want it to be revised, it has to be added, that's perfectly fine. It's up to the council.
I know he has been included in the city manager page. He's on the signature page.
So was it not, when was he not included then? I know sometimes he was not included. Does anyone remember?
always been included on evaluations,
On the evaluation. yes.
on evaluations.
So when were you not included?
I can't remember.
I mean, you're included on the evaluations. Isn't that where the score comes from to get the raise?
Yes.
So I thought,
Well, no.
I mean, to me, that's when it wouldn't be counted.
No, well,
I mean, I don't,
y'all can do
it
whatever
doesn't
you
matter to
want
me,
I'm just.
whatever direction you give us is what we will ask Ms. Nelson to do.
That's up to y'all.
Because that's the next thing we'll do, is we'll use the evaluation to consider her
So,
raise.
Are y'all gonna sign off on this?
We will.
Okay, well, I'm not.
You mean because you're not included, you won't sign off on it? I'm
Is
asking,
there some direction in the,
I'm sorry,
excuse me.
Ms. Nelson's turn.
Is there further direction in the charter?
No.
I don't believe so, not when it comes to evaluations. It's always something,
So is there a
that-
written rule?
it's something this
somewhere?
body has always decided,
Okay,
that whether they want it included or not.
okay.
And I can remember sometimes it was included and sometimes it was not.
So to be consistent, we can include it, I can just go back and add its information, add the data.
And that's exactly what I'm
And then
saying.
I
If
can
the council
send it.
gives us instruction to do that, we will certainly do that.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the mayor also one of her, or boss person?
No.
Not calling us your boss, but.
Right, the charter
Who
does
does she
address the
answer
fact
to?
that he does not, he's not over her.
Council's
when it
So
comes
if
to that.
he is not, then he should really probably not be involved in her evaluation.
How does everybody else feel? I mean, we can do two. How about we do two? We keep this one knowing that this is the one we're gonna use when it comes to giving this point score for a possible salary increase. And we'll do the other one to include the mayor's comments and scores. So just so that we see the whole thing. I think that's what they've done in the past. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I don't remember.
Please don't remember.
I think you're right, Deborah.
I think we did do two, one that showed,
We wanted his opinion. Yes, we did.
we do want his opinion, and I want them to know what his opinion is.
We had him do an evaluation.
Erin, give her a battery.
We had him do an evaluation previously. However, when it came to the raises, it was up to us, period. I know we've done that before. And he is on the signature page, so I say include his evaluation and comments on this evaluation. The same.
So you're gonna include his evaluation, remove his name from the one that has to be signed, but include his name on a different one? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you can just, I won't sign the one for the 5, which is determination of any possible increase or whatever.
Correct.
That's all you
Correct.
guys.
That's
But
on
for
us.
the other one, I will sign that one as turning in an evaluation, just like the
So you're gonna have 2 evaluations for her?
All we're gonna do is add his comments and his scores.
But when you go to file it, you're gonna have her with 2 evaluations in her file.
No, it just.
No, just one, just the one.
be one evaluation with a score for any possible increases, which would be the 5 of you.
So what's gonna happen to yours? You just gonna give it to her and let her keep it? I mean, I'm not understanding. Why the two?
Because we'll do one.
I'm just trying to understand.
I know, well, that's why I did not include it, because I knew it wasn't included when it came to the raises. Or the consideration of raise, which requires a resolution, by the way. As we've been through that before. But if he wants to include his comments and his scores in a separate one, so that it's cumulative with his,
That's not what I want.
what do you want?
That's up to you
I'm trying to understand.
to determine that, if you want me to evaluate or whatever.
I do want you to evaluate her, I want
If
her
you
to know
don't-
how you feel.
Well, my meaning is, if you're not gonna count any numbers in an evaluation on it whatsoever, I don't see me even needing to do an evaluation on the thing. On either one, city clerk or city manager.
I think it's important that they know how you feel, and any comments that you have to make.
But on this evaluation, it's not noted, so.
What's not noted? Oh, no,
My
wait,
evaluation.
right, it's not there.
It's not included.
But we can do that if you want to, but I don't see the purpose of doing it if we're not going to include it in the summary.
So why not he give a separate evaluation that's separate
He
from
did.
the council?
And he did.
That's what I'm saying, it doesn't go on the numbers, but then that way both of them can be in her file. So that if she goes somewhere else, she has,
So
you know,
ours-
what the mayor has said or thought about her performance. And then she has what we have thought about her performance.
Okay, so.
I mean, we still can give
A separate
his,
summary.
but his will be separate from what ours
Sure.
is.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely.
That makes sense to you?
That's basically what we've done before.
Right.
Is we wanted his opinion, we wanted his
And I did.
evaluation, we just.
Yeah, you can't.
Right,
you
it
can't
just
include-
won't be tied with ours.
You can't,
Right.
you can't include my evaluation
Right.
for any
Right.
potential.
That's right.
You can't do that.
No.
On the last city manager's evaluation, his comments and everything was included, but his points did not count. I did not have his points on here, but his comments were.
Comments were on there, because we wanted his comments.
Okay.
But for the point, it was just the council.
But she doesn't know who said what, because it's just a tally. But if he wants her to know, he wants her to know.
Past, city manager did know because the copies, he received copies of everybody.
Of everybody,
Every
individual, yeah.
But if I did not make comments, and there's no numbers,
Well, your numbers don't add to your CN account anymore. So, if you didn't make comments, there's nothing to put on here. You didn't make any comments, okay.
Has to give him his own personal.
but I could've gone in here and given a 1 or a 2 or whatever.
Right, but we wouldn't have counted it. I wouldn't have counted it.
But how would you have known? Well,
That's why we gave them all to Dina, because, and she did the tally. That's one thing that probably needs to be changed in the instructions, is it to give them to the president of the city council out, and henceforth, I don't know how they feel, but I wish it would say, now that we have an HR director, I wish it would say they're given to the HR director.
Right.
If everyone is okay with that, I'll make that change.
That would be wonderful, and with the city clerk as well.
Okay.
I feel like that's a good statement. And then you can tally them. And as Ms. Wright has said, the individual ones are available for their perusal if they want to go and look at them. They always are. So, all right, so where did we go with all that? Mr. Fuller, I saw those hands.
I just wanted to add that it's important, if anyone gets a 2, if anyone gives a 2, it is very important that that person also give a comment, and that should be a recommendation, because the person doesn't know how to improve themselves or get beyond that 2 without some without some
They need to
direction.
know what they need to improve on, I agree.
And when I look at the section, there aren't any, I don't think there was only two,
Yeah, there's, yeah, I don't understand.
four twos.
Four twos.
Four twos in the entire evaluation. And there are no comments in this section. So you're right, it's hard to tell. There are no comments that are offered
For the improvement.
correct
There's-
for the
there's-
improvement direction.
There's comments, but not.
There are comments, but they're positive, I guess I'll say it that way.
Right.
And even in the other section where under the intergovernmental, where there were three, two, all of the comments are positive. There are three comments, but they're positive. So, you're right, I have no idea what they were thinking. It would be helpful to know that. I don't know if that's something we can solicit. Maybe we could put that in the directions from now on also.
We can, if the council would like that, I can add it.
Yeah, I think if it's below a meets standards, it needs to say why.
I agree. Cause
If
how
it-
is she gonna know what to improve on, or what she needs to improve on?
If it's improvement needed or unsatisfactory,
Mhm.
it needs to state what they believe needs to be the improvement. Okay, so how did we land with this?
How is she going?
Are we gonna leave the summary as it is and let Ms. Nelson give Ms. Gorman, the mayor's evaluation separately? Or are we gonna add his comments to this group? Except he didn't make any comments, excuse me.
He didn't make any comments.
Okay.
He didn't make a comment?
No,
No.
he said he didn't.
It would just be adding his
Wow.
tally.
I'm better at
his
numbers.
Which we're not tallying. So, I think what we should do is keep this summary, and give his individual evaluation to Ms. Gorman for review. Everybody okay with that?
I'm good with that.
Mr. Mary, okay with that? Mr. Rowe?
Yeah.
Ms. Hines? Okay. I think we're finally there.
Okay, so you all are okay to sign off on what's there?
Yes, ma'am.
I am. I guess.
And please sign that before you leave. And it's,
Sign your copy.
yes. And once we get that done, I will bring back a recommendation for her possible salary increase, if that's your direction. Okay? All right. I'm gonna move to the next item, which is item H.
Where are we?
I have to figure out where I am. Item H, discussion with possible action of the CalLink rates. Mr. IT Manager, Mr. Mills. You do see, and I have to go find my page here, we do have, some suggestions, as to what our rates need to be. I can tell you, I don't understand half of them. What are these things, and is it important that we understand?
Not really. Just say yes.
I didn't think so. The rates are wonderful, by the way, I'm very happy to see them. Are these residential or commercial?
Both, same difference. No
Same
difference.
difference.
Same for.
I know in the budget, we had them different originally.
It's, yeah,
And I know airwaves are airwaves, so it really doesn't matter.
that's why we just kinda went across the board.
That's wonderful.
Made it even.
Makes me happy.
Makes it work out. It's kind of self-explanatory real quick. I can self-explanatory it myself,
Yes,
but you
please.
guys don't understand it.
Go ahead.
So we're offering two packages, a basic package, which is 10 megabit download speed, 5 megabit upload speeds for the $20 a month. The general package, we're doing at 25 megabit up and down, is $35 a month. Refundable deposit on the equipment that'll be at the customer's house is the $100. That'll be refunded when they terminate service and return the equipment, or in the case of a rental property, we would leave the equipment there and hopefully activate it for the next customer. like in an apartment building or such.
Okay, so that's why we set up a separate account to hold the deposits.
Correct.
Okay,
They're gonna need a router to utilize the service, either they provide their own, or we're gonna offer them a managed router that we would provide. Same thing applies, $5 a month for one router, which is a lot smaller, a little less powerful. And then the second router would be $80 a month. And the deposit would be a little bit different, and basically the
you
deposit.
need $10
$10 a month, I'm sorry.
with an $80 deposit.
Yeah, the deposit is basically to cover the cost of the equipment. If they don't return it or destroy it, we use their deposit to replace it.
Okay, so if they got the general package and they decided to get the larger of the,
They would be at $45 a month.
$45.
Total.
they would get both, they would pay both.
Right, both
The $10
deposits.
and the $35.
And both deposits,
And both deposits, okay.
correct. And there are some taxes, taxes, federal communication taxes, stuff we have to tack on, but it depends all on location. It's geolocation of where they actually live.
Right.
In the city, outside the city, in the unincorporated Levy County, unincorporated Marion, or Alachua, all the rates are different.
Okay.
So,
And is there any consideration as to giving the deposit back after a certain number of years?
probably not at this point, because it is to replace the equipment if something does happen.
Okay, so if they needed if they needed a new router, we just give them a new one, and they have to pay the deposit again?
No, we're gonna maintain and
Okay, because it's a
provide.
maintained
And
router.
they're paying rent on it. They pay
just
rent
give
on
them a
it.
new one.
Yeah, they're renting it from us, we maintain it, take care of it.
Okay.
Something happens, we eat it.
Okay, everybody understand? I understand now, thank you very much. All right, any questions?
Just say yes.
Just say yes. We're trying to get consensus for the rate. It fits the budget, right? Ms. Gorman, fits the budget?
Yes. I can tell you, as we go forward, we feel very confident that people are gonna sign up, and as they sign up, it's gonna cover our costs to operate, and that's what I care about when we monitor.
Right.
And then again, we don't really know how this is gonna go until we start, get it all go. But we're gonna constantly be monitoring to make sure that this program pays for itself, just like the rest of our utilities.
Right.
It's gonna stand alone and must operate as a business by itself.
And now, is there any kind of contract involved? Mr. Mills?
Aaron, there's not a contract involved with any of this yet. Well, yes, it's gonna be with you're talking about with our residents?
Yes.
Yeah, we have to put all that together yet.
Okay.
They're working on a service agreement now, getting it approved through.
I know, but when they sign up with us, is it for a year?
No
Okay, so if they decide in 3 months they wanna give it back to us, they get a deposit
If they're
back.
not
and
happy,
then
they
go
walk
somewhere else.
away and
And
get
we're
the equipment
purchasing
back.
software to operate it, it's not gonna be included with the rest of our utilities,
Right.
it's operated completely separately. So, all those things considered, manpower, programming, our labor that we're gonna be hiring, we're gonna be watching that to make sure this is paying for itself as it goes.
Okay,
And we'll be back to you if that changes.
all right.
Okay?
Any questions from anyone? Mr. Fuller?
Will the billing be the same? Will the billing be along with your regular utility bill, or will it be separate, a separate billing process?
It's totally separate. It's on its own, because the management software that runs it has the ability, it auto disconnects the customers, it lets them pay their bill online, it reconnects them automatically, it does everything, including the billing, and you have an online portal you can go to do your own account and everything, so
Perfect.
we're doing it separate because it has so much functionality.
And how close are you to doing it?
I'm not gonna pick a date.
Not gonna pick a date.
I started picking dates in November and it hasn't come out yet. Realistically, we should be by the end of next week up and on the air. A little bit of testing phase, we'll definitely be up by the end of the month and ready to go.
Perfect.
We're also looking to hire a tech, because we can't do it all. So,
Thank
and
you.
what that's gonna require is when somebody orders this, utility, they've got to go in and do the box, just like any other cable provider would do, in a sense. So we have to have somebody to help him do that, so we're still working through all of that. We'll just keep you posted how.
Okay. Perfect. Is everybody okay with these prices? If so, would entertain a motion for approval of the rate structure that Mr. Mills has presented to us tonight.
I make a motion, we approve the rates provided from Mr. Mills to move forward.
Thank you, sir. Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion from anyone? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you so much. Okay, item number 7 is your second opportunity for public participation. You can speak 5 minutes on any topic not on the agenda. Hello, Ms. Allen.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
I would just like to stand on behalf of Friends of Denise and Community Park Committee and say thank you to everyone, everybody that helped to make our movie night at the park a success. It was great, the kids enjoyed it, the running us a little bit. So for everyone, everyone what you did to help us out, thank you, and to the young men there in the homes that provided the silent movie. It's an experience that you've never experienced that. It's something that would take you back to your childhood. So I just want to say thank you. Mr. Fuller, would you like to add anything?
It was a great night. I was glad to see it done.
So we're looking forward to next year.
Thank you.
very much.
Appreciate you putting that together, all of you. Yeah.
Ms. Williams, I see you.
Anybody else for public participation? If Mr. Bills has anybody online. No one responding. Okay, we will move at this time for announcements. And this time I'm going to start with the back row. Anybody on the back row have an announcement? Anything they'd like to tell us before we adjourn?
I sent all of you an email, you need to review it,
You did?
just a little while ago during the meeting.
Okay. Uh-oh. Oh.
Just a reminder.
Oh, thank you.
A reminder.
All right. Mr. Ross, do you have anything for this agenda? Councilmember Hines? Mr. Mayor? Councilmember Robbins?
I meant to ask this, first one. Our fire department, the garage doors, why do we have 2 white and 2 brown, and why can't we have all the same color?
Well, we could get a can of spray paint, and I'm not being smart. When we ordered the replacement doors, we could not get them anywhere near to match.
So can we get all 4 painted alike?
We could get them painted.
If everybody gets a spray can?
Yeah.
How much is it?
But yes, ma'am, the reason they're different colors is because they're different doors. The doors that were originally installed there,
right,
when the building was built, were used doors that had been acquired from another building. They were like 10 to 12 years old when we got them. And that's the only reason. We just haven't painted them. But we can.
So get us a price on the paint.
Yes, I would like a price.
Maybe a couple.
We can do that.
We want our fire department to look spiffy.
We can do that.
She's gonna donate it to you.
No.
Yeah, we'll do that too if I have to. Anything, Mr. Cox?
Get a collection.
Did a ride along with Deputy Rolls,
Oh, you poor puppy.
and it was
Always fun.
it was enjoyable. Learned a lot of different things didn't know about. Look forward to doing it again.
It'll get under your skin, that's for sure. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Officer Bowles.
Officer.
Yes, yes. Ms. Gorman, anything for the good of the cause? That's right. And nobody on the back row. Mr. Bowles.
I'm sorry, I know I'm out of order, but I would be remiss in not remembering to thank the officer who provided the toys for the Cornelius Williams Park, and I don't know the officer's name. Chief, do you know?
I think
It was Hunter Duke,
It was Hunter.
and the toys came from a conglomeration of donations from people within the city.
Okay.
We actually done that. Officers actually rode around and found children and handed out toys, and we went to some churches on Sundays, so we have a very giving community, and we was able to give back.
It made the night. Every child got a toy.
That's wonderful. I saw all the pictures, they were great.
And that
Thank you for
actually-
posting them, whoever did that.
Actually, Sergeant Rolls and Officer Duke got with DC Floyd and went to some of the churches on a Sunday, a week or so before. And Officer Duke is a very young man and very impressive. He got so excited, went home and told his parents about it. His parents bought $800 worth of toys to give to the city to pass out.
That's wonderful.
And if you didn't.
I think they need some grandchildren.
Yeah. And of course, the other thing we did, and I think a lot of y'all seen it, Santa Claus made this trip through town. And only took about 3 hours and 3 weeks for.
I heard you coming, I just thought there was some major catastrophe.
And
And then I realized you were in my neighborhood, and I said, oh no, who died? And I was running out, and it was just Santa. I was so excited, I forgot all about it.
It was a 3-hour ride, and it took about 8 hours for Brook to thaw out.
Oh, man, it wasn't a cold night, it was raining, if I remember right.
It was raining.
Okay.
We also learned that Officer Dukes gets excited when you send him to buy candy canes.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard about that too. On every candy cane in town, I heard.
We
have some at the book song.
Run out of candy canes, we pulled the Hitchcocks, I gave him a debit card, and I said, go buy all the candy canes you can. $200 later, I got my debit card.
Well, I'm going to give him better direction next time. Mr. Witt.
I visited that 33 acre subdivision site. I was really shocked to see the number of oak trees that are still standing down there. I mean,
I'm hopeful, there's all palms are still standing too.
yeah, I don't know if that means you just haven't got around to cutting down.
I figured maybe they're gonna dig them up and take them and sell them somewhere, is what I was thinking.
There's a bunch.
There's hundreds of palm trees out there. They're almost everywhere.
There's a ton of oak trees.
Yes, there are. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, not too much, but a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Maybe. Ms. Hines, did you have something else? No? I thought you had something. Okay, last call. I entertain a motion for adjournment.
I move that we adjourn.
We'll adjourn it. Oh, I entertain a second.
I'll second.
We have a second, all in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes, we will adjourn at 7:45. Thank you very much.